Hey there, welcome to Product Marketing Maestros, Tales from the Front Lines. I'm your host, Nitin Karthik. As the author of the Amazon bestseller Product Marketing Wisdom, I've always found that real-world case studies are the true litmus test for the effectiveness of any product marketing strategy. And that is why on this show, we dive into the minds of industry titans, as well as rising stars, unpacking their expertise in action-packed episodes that showcase the power of product marketing through real-world case studies. And today, my friends, we are joined by product marketing maestro Ariana Faustini. Ariana is a seasoned marketing leader with over 15 years of experience crafting go-to-market strategies for technical and consumer brands. Currently head of global marketing at Goliath, she has led impactful marketing initiatives at Nest, Salesforce, and Apollo GraphQL. Ariana specializes in developer marketing, storytelling, and brand development with deep experience in early-stage startups and technical audiences. She also runs a marketing advisory, Faustini LLC, where she advises startups, small businesses, and large businesses on their pitches, positioning, and product marketing. Ariana holds an MBA with a focus in marketing and thrives at the intersection of creativity and technology, helping teams build authentic narratives that drive results across the funnel. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Ariana Faustini. Ariana, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Nathan. What an intro. Over the past 2 years, I've kind of witnessed our entire industry explode with opportunity because of AI. And so I kind of wanted to talk about that, where I see AI going and how it's fundamentally going to change how we operate as marketers. And, this is a process that I'm still going through, and I'm sure a lot of you are going through. So I'd love to kind of pitch essentially a simple shift of thinking AI first instead of being AI reactive, which is something I've seen different teams and people struggle with.
People struggle with. I think that is such a great topic because in this age of AI, I think everybody is kind of struggling and everyone is trying to figure this out. So I love it. Thank you, Ariana. All right. So, Ariana, we'll give the audience a situation from your background and we'll use the ABC framework. So we'll talk about the antecedents, the prior challenges. We'll talk about the behaviors, the actions taken, and we'll talk about the conclusion, how we can expect these situations to play out. So with that, Ariana, pick a situation and tell us about the antecedents. Tell us about some of the prior challenges in these situations.
Yeah, so I think probably a lot of people are in the same boat as me in that we've been tasked about talking about AI, thinking about how we can use AI, and also kind of put that into our possession, or our positioning and our messaging out there in the world. And so maybe you're a marketing team and you're scrambling to kind of get the message around AI that makes sense. Meanwhile, you yourself are using processes that are decades old, right? Manually building campaign reports, waiting weeks for kind of design reviews and things like that, spending hours on tasks that AI can handle in minutes. And I can give you some examples there. So all that to say, like AI has really flipped the world around for us marketers. In the past, engineering was almost a bottleneck to our work, right? So we're waiting on kind of, oh, is this feature going to launch or not? Has it slipped? We've got all the assets ready. We have press ready to go. Like we've briefed in reporters what's happening. But with AI, engineering is moving like faster than ever before. And really, we've become the bottleneck at this point. I certainly know, like Goliath, we're releasing features weekly. How am I, as a marketer, supposed to keep up with that if I'm using old processes where each feature gets a couple weeks, of attention to really strategize around? So, part of that problem, it's not the inefficiency around all of it. It's more of the authenticity that we're struggling with here, and that is we haven't adopted, many of us, some of you out there are power users when it comes to AI, but many of us haven't lived the AI transformation ourselves. We're watching engineering do it and we're trying to figure it out. And so if you're trying to go out there and message around AI, right, it's like I love food metaphors. So, if a restaurant's marketing farm to table, but still uses frozen peas and carrots in their food, how authentic is that coming across? You don't understand how fresh food, kind of works and is experienced if you're not using it yourself. And so the question that I think many of us need to ask ourselves is, how do we become an AI native team or organization? And what are the steps to that?
Beautiful. I love it, Ariana, because a lot of people are trying to figure this out, right? So excellent. So thank you for telling us about these antecedents and the challenges that people have maybe facing. So now let's tell us about your experience and how would these kinds of challenges guide your behaviors? What kind of actions would you recommend people take given these challenges?
Yeah, I think if you're leading a marketing team or part of a marketing team, I think what you need to do is take a step back and start working backwards. Don't start with messaging. Start with your own processes as a marketer. So look at every workflow, every process, every creative challenge, and imagine like if you had a strategic partner who happens to be an AI persona, how would that change? Um, what's your AI collaborator going to do to help solve this problem? And honestly, if you don't know the answer to that, talk to the AI because it may already know how to help you. Um, and so that's the first step, is really asking, okay, like, what am I doing in marketing that could be more efficient, and how can AI help me get there? One example is, marketing briefs. They're a pain in the butt. They're in every single tool, misorganized in people's, Google Drives or on Notion somewhere hidden, obscure. Um, and with AI, it's beautiful. You can tell the computer what you need it to do. And with that framing, you can build apps as a marketer using natural language. And so, can you take the problem of the marketing brief and create a web app that basically holds all your briefs, shows the timeline, builds the workback schedules, and has it all together in one place. So no matter who is adding a brief, you can see all the briefs there. Is that something that you can build? I know for a fact you can because I've built one myself. And so taking a look at these old processes that we have in marketing and renewing kind of the approach using AI is something I think the teams that are going to kind of stand apart from the rest will start to do as a process, as a reflection. Things like, for example, customer insights, right? Quarterly research reports, etc. All that data can be dropped in almost with no information, right? No context. Drop it in, ask the question, what insights do you have around this information? What can I extrapolate that maps to where I should go next? And the AI can crunch those numbers like you wouldn't believe, much faster. And you can continue to probe it. What else? What else? Tell me what I need to be doing with this data that makes me, reach whatever goal that you've set for yourself strategically. But, those examples aside, I think the most important thing is cultural behavioral change. AI fluency needs to be a core competency for the entire team, not just to know like what tools exist, but these AI first thinking patterns need to be established. And the breakthrough moment really comes when, your team stops coming to you with problems or crises and starts coming with AI assisted solutions. Yes, it was a problem, but I worked it out with AI. That means they're not just using AI, they're thinking with AI. And that's what I think teams that are going to stand out are really going to experience.
Beautiful. Look at that. Using AI as our friend and essentially giving us superpowers, right? So I love that. So beautiful. Thank you, Ariana, for explaining how we should guide our behaviors. Now, Ariana, let's say people followed these specific designs and the instructions that you have shared. Tell us about the conclusion. What kind of results can we expect from following these kinds of actions?
Yeah. I think, once you accept the mental model shift, you start thinking, okay, well, how can I be much faster. So, for example, at Goliath, we used AI to build rapid campaigns with tofu. And that was a week-long process for our very tiny, tiny marketing team. And, it turned that weeks long process into an hours long process. And that's with A/B testing and, being able to create many more than just, a landing page, but the email, the SDR sequences, all kinds of content around that. And is it on brand? Yes. Tools like Tofu have figured out how to apply the brand across those things. So it's great. A quick review and you're out and you're running. We've used AI as an engineering resource. I mentioned the marketing brief generator, which is something I built, but we can do other things that are public facing. For example, we have our buyers, when we're doing long-term contracts, want to understand pricing implications. And so we used AI to build a long-term pricing calculator. When you've lived AI, that AI transformation internally, your external messaging, from there becomes more compelling because you understand it from experience and not aspiration. You're not eating frozen peas and carrots. You're serving fresh vegetables.
Beautiful. Wow. Excellent. I love that. I love the analogy of the frozen peas and carrots, by the way. I think everyone can really relate to that. If you want to be authentic and if you want to use AI, I think this is really the framework that people should follow. So wonderful, Ariana. Thank you for walking us through that. Now tell us, Ariana, if people wanted to learn more about you and what's next for you, where can people find out more?
You can, of course, connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm an open book, and I accept pretty much every invite. I'm excited to kind of continue on this AI first transformational journey. I really hope that you can join me in that and embrace this mindset today, as I really believe that's going to define the competitive landscape of tomorrow. So let's connect.
There you have it. Excellent advice. Folks, please reach out to Ariana and connect with her. And for even more insights, you can check out my Amazon bestseller, Product Marketing Wisdom, at productmarketingwisdom.com. And see you next time on Product Marketing Maestros.